Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Despite Amanda Anisimova upsetting Aryna Sabalenka, Coco Gauff's ex-coach says American isn't the favorite against Iga Swiatek in Wimbledon final. Grass dreams and Polish storms. The tale of Anisimova's rise and the Swiatek summit. Wimbledon 2025 has been nothing short of cinematic. Rain delays, unexpected exits, vintage comebacks, and at the heart of it all, Amanda Anisimova's improbable surge through the draw. But even after stunning world number 2 Aryna Sabalenka in the semifinals, her fairy tale run has run into a familiar force of nature, Iga Swiatek. The stage is set, grass blades neatly trimmed, center court echoing history, the world holding its breath. But while fans are caught up in the magic of Anisimova's revival, Coco Gauff's former coach, Diego Moyano, offers a dose of pragmatic caution. She's playing phenomenal tennis, Moyano said of Amanda after her semifinal win. But against Iga, on any surface, she's not the favorite, not yet. The long road back. For Amanda Anisimova, this Wimbledon wasn't just about match wins. It was about redemption. Once a teenage prodigy who reached the French Open semifinals at 17, Anisimova's journey since has been riddled with detours, injuries, personal tragedy, and a sabbatical from the sport in 2023. The tennis world, with its cruel impatience, almost forgot her. But Wimbledon is a place that remembers its dreamers. The semifinal against Sabalenka was a masterclass in control and belief. Where the Belarusian blasted with power, Amanda countered with touch, angles, and a mind that refused to buckle. Down a set, she clawed her way back, feeding off the murmuring energy of center court. When she raised her arms after sealing the final point, it was more than victory. It was vindication. Yet even in that moment, Swiatek's shadow loomed. Swiatek, the relentless frontrunner. In stark contrast to Anisimova's turbulence, Iga Swiatek has become the personification of consistency. Since rising to dominance post-Ash Barty, Swiatek has collected Grand Slams like souvenirs for French Opens, 2 U.S. Opens, and now, her eyes are fixed firmly on the elusive Wimbledon crown. She's no longer a clay court specialist, Moyano notes. Iga's learned how to move on grass, how to trust her shots even when the bounce is low and unpredictable. That's the final piece of the puzzle. Swiatek's dismantling of Elena Rybakina in the semifinals was almost surgical. No shrieks, no dramatics. Just raw precision, baseline dominance, and footwork that bordered on ballet. What makes Iga formidable isn't just her game, it's her mind. A student of sports psychology, she brings a meditative calm to moments others find suffocating. If Amanda is the storm-tossed ship arriving at shore, Iga is the lighthouse, steady, unblinking, and entirely unmoved. A clash of contrasts. On paper, this Wimbledon final is a mismatch. Swiatek leads their head-to-head 4-1. She's ranked number 1. She's on a 20-match win streak. Her coach, Tomasz Wiktorowski, has created a game plan for every scenario. But Amanda has something Iga hasn't faced much lately, unpredictability. She's hitting the ball early, taking time away, said Moyano. That kind of aggression on grass can disrupt even someone like Swiatek, but she has to sustain it. It's a stylistic duel as much as a personal one. Iga prefers long rallies and strategic suffocation. Amanda thrives on taking the ball on the rise, shortening points, attacking second serves. Grass, with its quickness and low bounce, leans toward Amanda's tools, but only if she can execute flawlessly. Iga doesn't give free points, Moyano cautioned. Anisimova has to earn everything, and you can't do that over 2 hours without mental discipline. The mental arena, more than spin rates or first serve percentages, this final may come down to nerves. Amanda, once crushed by the weight of expectations, has appeared lighter in this tournament, smiling more, swinging freer. But a Grand Slam final is a different beast. There's nothing like your first Slam final, says Gauff's ex-coach, recalling Coco's own emotional turmoil when she faced Swiatek in the 2022 French Open final. You walk onto the court with a plan, but by the third game, your legs feel like they don't belong to you. Swiatek has already weathered that storm multiple times. She's accustomed to the swirl of nerves, the flashes of doubt. Anisimova. Not quite. The last time she came this close, she was still a teenager navigating grief and success with no roadmap. But perhaps that's her weapon now, nothing to lose. No seeding pressure. No narrative to uphold. Just the joy of being back, doing what she once feared she'd never do again. America's wild card. For American tennis, Anisimova's resurgence is a subplot worth noting. With Gauff, Pegula, and Keys all crashing out earlier than expected, Amanda has become the country's surprise standard-bearer. Her all-court game, reminiscent of Lindsay Davenport, but with the rhythm of modern tennis, has rekindled hope in fans yearning for another Grand Slam champion from the U.S. Her backhand is pure, Moyano remarked. One of the best on tour. If she can keep IGA off balance with it, she has a shot. But even he tempers expectations. Let's not crown her yet. IGA's a mountain. The narrative beyond the scoreboard. There's something poetic about this final. Two young women who took different roads, one straight, one winding, meeting at the summit. IGA, the stoic tactician. Amanda, the free spirit returning from the void. It's a final that speaks to more than tennis. It's about mental health, perseverance, reinvention. Swiatek has been vocal about her own mental battles. Anisimova has lived hers publicly, stepping away, reconnecting with herself, and slowly, bravely, returning. On the surface, one is a favorite, the other an underdog. But Wimbledon has a way of ignoring odds. The same way it ignored Federer's age in 2017, or Serena's injuries in 2015, or even Anisimova's ranking this year. Because on this grass, sometimes belief outpaces logic. The prediction? Diego Moyano's assessment may be accurate in the technical sense. Swiatek deserves her favorite status. She's earned it. But sport doesn't always care about probabilities. It feeds on the unpredictable, thrives on the tension of the impossible becoming real. Amanda Anisimova, for all her detours, has found her rhythm. Whether it's enough to overcome the whirlwind that is Swiatek, we'll find out. But no matter the outcome, Wimbledon has already won. So has Amanda. Because sometimes, returning to the top isn't about winning the final. It's about getting there at all. Anisimova's upset, Gauff's ex-coach speaks, and the Swiatek storm awaiting at Wimbledon. The sun burned gently above the all-grass cathedral of tennis, Wimbledon. There was a murmur through the ivy-wrapped corridors and over the neatly clipped courts. Amanda Anisimova had done it. She had conquered the relentless Aryna Sabalenka, the Belarusian powerhouse, in a match that jolted the world and etched itself into the archives of unexpected triumphs. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement. A tempestuous three-set duel, full of blazing forehands, impossible gets, and emotions brimming on both sides. Anisimova, the 22-year-old American once heralded as a prodigy, and then plagued by inconsistency and personal tragedy, had clawed her way back to relevance with this seismic upset. And yet, as the echoes of Sabalenka's final era faded, another voice entered the conversation, a familiar, tactical voice from the American tennis scene. Patrick Mouratoglou, the coach who once helped mold Coco Gauff's early career and guided Serena Williams through a dynasty, offered his analysis with characteristic candor. Amanda is playing great tennis. She's confident, dangerous, and on a run that few predicted, he admitted on a panel for the BBC. But let's be clear, she's not the favorite against IGA Swiatek. Not on grass, not in this moment. The statement rippled across social media, stirring both agreement and debate. Some saw it as a fair, objective assessment. Others, especially American fans basking in the glow of Anisimova's resurgence, saw it as a slight, perhaps even a dismissal of a potential fairy tale ending. But if you looked closely, Mouratoglou wasn't underestimating Anisimova. He was illuminating the storm that stood on the other side of the net. The Swiatek factor. IGA Swiatek's game has always had a kind of poetic violence to it. On clay, she is an empress, gliding with unshakable confidence, her racket painting winners across the red canvas of Roland Garros. Grass, however, had long been considered her weakest surface. But this Wimbledon, she has rewritten that narrative with every round. Her footwork, once too clair-oriented, is now lighter, quicker. Her serve has grown more precise. And her mental game, that steely Polish resolve, is sharper than ever. She's dispatched opponents not just with power, but with purpose. Every round, every point, seemed to build a crescendo. This was no longer a work in progress. This was Swiatek 2.0, fully evolved, fully lethal. She's not just playing to win now, Muratoglu observed. She's playing to dominate. And therein lies the challenge for Anisimova. Amanda's renaissance. Amanda Anisimova has long been a figure of potential. Her 2019 run to the French Open semifinals at just 17 was supposed to be a prelude to greatness. But life, as it often does, had other plans. In 2020, she lost her father and coach, Konstantin, a tragic moment that cast a long shadow over her young career. Injuries and inconsistency followed. There were flashes of brilliance, deep runs, upsets, but they came like lightning bolts, not sustained sunshine. Until now. At this Wimbledon, Anisimova has found a rare rhythm. Her backhand, a shot of classical beauty, has been painting lines. Her serve has added venom. Most importantly, her belief has returned. Defeating Sabalenka wasn't luck. It was the culmination of grit, patience, and rediscovered fire. Still, Muratoglu's words stand. Against Swiatek, it's a different battlefield. A clash of styles and psyches. Anisimova plays instinctively. Her game flows with a kind of emotional intuition, aggressive, artistic, unafraid. She thrives when she feels free, when the match opens up into a firefight. Swiatek, by contrast, is surgical. She constructs points like a chess master, 3 moves ahead, dictating with a rhythmic discipline. If Anisimova is jazz, Swiatek is a symphony. Controlled, composed, relentless. This is not just a battle of strokes. It is a battle of energies. And yet, Wimbledon finals have a curious history of ignoring the odds. The grass is a place where destinies bend. Petra Kvitova, Garbiñe Muguruza, even Gauff herself as a teen prodigy, all have shaken predictions here. Could Anisimova add her name to that tradition? The shadow of Gauff. In some ways, this final holds echoes of Coco Gauff's meteoric rise. Another young American who electrified center court. Gauff's former coach, Muratoglu, knows the psychology of these moments. He has seen pressure crush and elevate. His commentary, while clinical, comes from that very understanding. Finals are about more than tennis, he said. They're about handling the noise, the history, the weight of wanting it. Gauff knows that all too well. Her own trajectory has been shaped by both breakout success and growing expectations. That Muratoglu once guided her adds a layer of perspective to his take on Anisimova. He sees the warning signs, too much emotion, not enough control, and he knows what Swiatek does to players who lose tactical discipline. Still, there's something about Amanda's journey that defies analytics. She's not just playing matches, she's playing with purpose. American dreams versus European reign. If Anisimova wins, it would be a moment of resurrection for American tennis. In an era where the Williams sisters have passed the torch, and where Gauff is still forging her legend, Amanda could become the next face. A Wimbledon champion with a comeback story the world can rally behind. But if Swiatek triumphs, it further cements her as the face of this generation. With 4 French Open titles and a Wimbledon crown, she'd prove she's not just a queen of clay, but a ruler of all terrains. The final is more than a match. It's a metaphor for perseverance, for dominance, for what tennis means in this fractured, transitional moment in women's sports.